we're shaking a little bit. Hey guys, it's Kai at Muku Creations. I'm here to show you how to do HTV on an epoxy cup. I do not like glitter vinyl because for me, like, people have a great time cutting it. For me, it is a pain in the butt to cut and weed, and it just stretches. Those who use Cricut, usually Cricut vinyl bleeds, or Cricut glitter vinyl will bleed. And so I figured, why not cheat the system and use glitter iron-on? I've never had this bleed, and for me it's easier, and it can come in so many colors. So I mean, and it sparkles better than glitter vinyl, and it's easier. So I cut it out on my glitter iron-on setting, and I do have the transfer paper on it. I have a cup that has been glittered, and it does have a coat of epoxy on it. Obviously my stuff's already cut out. I have a mini iron. I got this from Michael's, or you can get it from Joann's. I don't know if Hobby Lobby has it. They do have other ones. If you don't have a mini iron, oh, and use a coupon. If you don't have a mini iron, you can use your heat gun, blow it on it, and press with like your scraper, because you don't want to bring your hands. It's got to be hot to activate the glue to stick to the cup. So you want to be careful. So let me go ahead and move you. So I'm using my mini iron today. I'm just going to set it on my lap. Let's see. Perfect. So I have stripes. I have a couple other things. And like I said, I use it for anything. If I run out of a color of regular vinyl, but I have it in iron-on, I'll even iron it on. So I cut my stars out. We should probably put the point up. And I like leaving the transfer tape on because it helps kind of tack it to the cup before I iron it on. And it will help it to where you can adjust it if you need to move it to make adjustments. Which is great, because if you have like a stripe and you need to line it up, then you can still adjust it. And I did cut mine too short, so what I did was I did cut a little piece that will go right in there. Try to make it straight, which means this piece has to come down a little bit. And yes, it is this is a 20-ounce skinny, but I did not warp it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this side. Actually, luckily glitter vinyl stretches a little bit. So here's my iron. For glitter vinyl, I tend to do 3 or 4 depending on how well it's working. Usually I do 3, but today, I don't know if it's old glitter vinyl or what, it just needed a 4. So I just rub it on. I do not keep it stationary because my epoxy is rated to 475 degrees. And it's cured. It's sat for 3 days. I mean, I do this the next day. I don't always wait for it to cure, but I just stopped working on this for a few days because I was out of town. So I just pressure and moving heat. And you'll see as it sticks to the cup, the paper will actually, you could see the plastic separate from it, which is a nice little guide that it's on there. So again, I just do a little bit at a time, pressing and moving the heat. That's why I like the iron, because I can adjust the angle of the iron head, which is really nice, depending on how I'm working. If you check out my website, I did do a Christmas gingerbread house with wavy stripes, and it is literally all glitter iron-on, which made it so much easier. The stripes were so much cleaner, and it was just beautiful. And then I blended areas with glitter, and we added, press the button while I was doing it. And we added some stickers on it. Almost slipped, almost got me. See, careful with yourself. And as the glitter vinyl is sticking to the cup, we're activating that glue that sticks to the shirts. As it sticks to the cup, this just lifts off, which is really nice. We're getting close to the end, so let's just check it. Perfect. And as I ironed it on, it actually was a smaller gap than I originally thought it was going to be, which is nice. So then I just press it, little of the adhesive. This is old iron-on. So little of the transfer or the tape just came on, and I just rub it off. It's totally fine. What you're gonna do is I rub around and see if there's any parts not stuck enough, because you don't want it to lift under epoxy. So there's a little lip right here. So I just take it and I press it. But I will feel all around it gently. Don't be like trying to rip it off. Oh, right here. So that lifted. So then I will go ahead and iron on that area. And it glides over, so it's not like it's rough or anything. Perfect, so on to the next one. And that's really how easy it is, you guys. Hardest part is keeping it straight. Okay, so I'm going to start it around the same area. Yeah, you can go to www.moocrewcreations.com, and under my Tumblers you can see my gingerbread house, or it's even on my Instagram, Moo Crew Creations. It's just underscores in between Moo Crew and Creations. And you can see my gingerbread house I made, and those, all of the glitter stripes. They're really cool. It's swirl stripes. All of those are done with glitter iron-on and a mini iron. Probably easier to do it this way. And if I'm just in one spot, then yeah, I use my cup cradle, but what I'm doing, going all the way around, I'm gonna use, and yeah, you could totally use water slide, especially because it's super glittery, but I've never done a full water slide before, and I thought it would just give it a little more dimension to have it be the glitter vinyl. So you can see how it's getting cloudy from it separating, and it just came right off because it's the glue was activated with the iron. Just make sure it's where you want it, and if you mess up, it's a little forgiving. If it's not activated all the way, it is slightly forgiving to reposition. I have had to do that before. That's kind of funny because it's not a perfect straight tumbler. I actually had more than enough for the bottom. Just level, I'm lining it up. So it lines up when it's time to heat it. Alright, so let's get the excess off. So I actually, because it's not 100% perfectly straight, a little more of that. And I am just going to use my blade and cut it so I can grab it. There we go. Use a razor blade or an X-Acto knife, whatever works for you. This is what I had close. I'm just gonna leave it like that and then tack that edge down so it doesn't lift during the epoxy. All right, so time to check all over. This one actually went down so much better. So I've already done the bottom. Just sparkles so much. I love it. Okay, so I find my seam. Let's find the seam. So right there. So let's put the decals on each side to where the seam is on the side and not in the front or the back. So now I can use my cup cradle because it's just going on a flat surface. I just want to make sure it's nice and straight. I do have my transfer paper on. Even doing offsets, it's nice. And offset with the glitter iron on just gives it so much more depth. It's really cool. Okay, so I just tacked it down with the iron and now I'm gonna rub it really good. Pressure, pressure, pressure. And again, if you don't have a mini iron and you just have a blowgun or a heat gun, heat it up in one spot, then get your scraper and scrape it. Don't use your fingers because it has to be super hot to get that glue to stick. So if you don't necessarily see it separating, you can always just check to see if by lifting that transfer paper, if it's starting to stick. If it's starting to stick, like right there, then just iron that spot on. But again, I am not leaving my iron in one place. If it's just one little spot, I will do that momentarily. Again, my epoxy is rated for 475 degrees. I would be careful if your epoxy is like the Lumelite where it's only up to 100 degrees. And that one, you would definitely want to make sure that you are using continuous movement. I would probably do it on the lower setting, like a 2 or a 3. Okay, so let's rub it. Oh, right there. Edge. And that side is done. And it works great for layering vinyl. Okay, so this is going down. I'm also going to do a pencil cup, you guys. We're going to separate this and space it out a little more. This was a custom order. Everything I do is made to order, so it's not like, I'm doing like the local campaign here. Just make sure it's straight. And if it's not straight, honestly, and you tacked it down, it's honestly pretty easy to pull it up than vinyl is. I have pulled up iron-on, glitter iron-on before and repositioned it after I fused it to the gut. Repositioned it, you just had to do it very carefully, and I was able to reheat it to the cup. But I just had to be very careful not to stretch it out or damage it. But it was possible. Usually if I do that with regular vinyl, it will stretch and tear or distort, and it is just a mess. Okay. I fold in half to find my middle. And again, I use our transferred paper to tack it down. Started sliding. Let's see. There we go. Those A's are lifting. And I like it because it just glides over. It doesn't get stuck to it. It's great. Check it one more time. I'm just gonna hold it right here. Oh, you can't see. This is great also if you run out of water slide for a big thing like this. It is possible to do it in glitter vinyl, even those tiny little lines for the stripes. Woo, see, pushing buttons. And that's it. Here, all glitter iron-on vinyl. So here's that. And then I also have some pencils that I made. This is glitter on iron-on, glittered iron-on. Let's go this way. And I just need to do the silver stripe. So this was done with wood grain. This was Mod Podge, and this was spray adhesive. So I was like, you know what? Why not add a little dimension and do my silver stripes in iron-on? And that way, if I'm not happy with it, I can peel it up, or if I'm not happy with this edge, I can cover it a little bit. So sometimes if you need to take it off, see right there, how cool is that? So you don't necessarily have to use transfer paper. If you are a little concerned, regular vinyl or regular iron-on, not glitter, I would always use either parchment paper or a Teflon sheet in between your iron. Don't directly just pop your iron-on it because it will melt it. You have to be very gentle with regular iron-on, but it is totally possible. I just go around, cover up that line. And they don't know it's not real glitter. You could also use double-sided tape, which I am a big fan of. But I didn't want to deal with it. I just figured why not just do it this way and get it done with, because I already had other cups I had to do the iron-on for. So again, I'm just gonna do this. You guys, please go in the house. I am almost done, okay? And then I did also cut some thinner lines if you want thinner lines with it too.
Can you put this one?
Thank you. So if we want to do a second thin stripe, then we can do that, which I think I'm gonna do because I kind of like that. Honestly, the seam's hidden, so you can do the seam anywhere. But I am going to use that first stripe as my guide for straightness. So if your first stripe is not straight, neither will your next one. Don't pull hard or you will pull it apart. And then I'll put my edge. And I went a little over my edge just so there's no accidental gap. There's no accidental gap. Right here, that little edge right there. So again, the cup does need to have epoxy on it so it has something to grip onto. It will not iron on to just raw glitter. Perfect, did the test. So there is my number 2 pencil, and these are cute because the lid is black, so that will be my lead. It's a little backwards, but check it out. And that's my pencil. So if you guys want, I have one more to do. I might turn it this way. My workstation is slightly dirty, so please don't judge. So again, I pre-cut, and I just use a strip vinyl and my rotator cutter thingy. I'll put this one a little higher so I have room for my narrow stripe, because I do like that narrow stripe on there. So I just make sure to go right up against that pink line. Rotate, still on that pink line. And because it's glitter vinyl, you guys, I'm not dealing with having to have warped it because it stretches a little bit so I can manipulate it. Regular vinyl with this curve, we would have had to warp it. And unless you have Silhouette, you can't warp it. I just got Silhouette, not the machine. I just got the program so I can do warps and offsets without having to use other things, and I love it. But I've been doing cups for almost 2 years and haven't had it, you know. So I am going to do a little bit of extra pressure right on that seam. And honestly, iron-on glitter blends so much better than regular vinyl on seams. All right, so last stripe, and then that's gonna be it. Feel free to comment or message me if you guys have any questions. Again, check out my Instagram if you want to see the gingerbread house, how that turned out. I'll tell you, I tried to do like, oh, let me look up like the #2 pencil logo, and I did not realize how many different brands and designs of legit like #2 pencils were. And I have friends that are teachers and like, just don't do the Staples ones because those ones are horrible pencils. I said, okay. So I just did that. Oval, although I do want to make one with the green glitter because we do have #2 pencils with the green, and I think that would be pretty too. But I wonder, with all this like virtual learning thing this coming year, if that means we're not doing teacher gifts. I don't know. And I will also list all the glitters used as well as the alcohol ink that was used for this cup. My yellow and pink are actually mixtures of 2 glitters per mix, just because I wanted a little extra. Why not just be a little extra, right? Perfect, that's stuck down really good. And then I just press that seam down a little bit more so it blends really good. I'm going to turn it off and check that out. My #2 pencil. All done with glitter HTV for the black and everything like that. So again, you don't have to have a mini iron. You can totally do it with your scraper and a heat gun. Just be careful not to burn yourself or your fingers. And you're gonna heat rub it, rub it, rub it, heat, rub it, rub it, rub it until you see that separation, and you'll be good to go. I mean, if you want to be really careful, you could probably even get like a curling iron and just rub it on there. But that would be more careful with that one so you don't burn your hands. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my HTV glitter iron-on cups. You can also do it on keychains, you guys. Like, it's not just limited to a cup. Totally be done on keychains, fobs, whatever. So have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye, guys.